Season 4 of Stranger Things just shook the whole world, and that's not even an exaggeration. With Joyce, Will, Eleven, and Jonathan now in Lenora, a lot was going on last season. Fans were still struggling to come to terms with Eddie's death when the season ended on a cliffhanger. Fans need answers, and they'll definitely get them in Season 5. In fact, we have some major spoilers about it, so let's get into it. First up, there will be no new characters. At least, that's what we think so far. The Duffer Brothers have been bombarded with questions left and right about Season 5 of Stranger Things, and it looks like they're trying to answer them one by one without giving too much away. In an interview with IndieWire, they said they're not interested in introducing any new characters in the next season. They have a pretty good reason for this actually, considering they want to focus on the core characters who are left on the show right now. If a new character steps in at any point, Ross Duffer said that they become an integral part of the show's narrative. At least, that's what they want the characters to be. Every time a Stranger Things character is introduced in a new season, they make sure to develop the character really well and give them a proper backstory. That's definitely one of the reasons that fans love Stranger Things so much. If they introduce a new character, an existing character will have less time, so it's definitely a tricky situation. We have to give props to the Duffer Brothers for this because they're trying to maintain the quality of the show despite the fact that it's one of the best-selling Netflix shows ever created. However, we need to be careful because that doesn't mean that 0 new characters will be introduced because they didn't say that. Instead, they said they want to be really careful about who joins. For now, we can expect it to focus on the OG characters. Moving on to how things will change for Will Byers. Speaking of OG characters, we can't forget Will Byers. From his introduction in the first season to the latest season of Stranger Things, Byers is one of the more memorable characters on the show. We've seen Will, as well as the actor who plays him, grow up right in front of our eyes. The OG Stranger Things fans will remember the cast's first red carpet appearances. They were literally just small kids. It's crazy how fast time passes. It seems like things are going to be changing majorly for Will in Season 5. According to Collider, Will is going to be a big part of Season 5. We're really going to see his coming of age in the next season, and we just can't wait for it. Just like anyone else's coming of age, Will's has been pretty chaotic. With all the supernatural stuff going on in this show, it's bound to be. Ross also said that everything will have come full circle back to Season 1. That sounds exciting, but also a little daunting, honestly. Everything's going to be mixed up again, and if you're a fan, you should definitely rewatch the first season again before jumping into Season 5. Now, some other characters will also be revisiting their pasts. The Duffer Brothers like to put the fans through a lot. Considering that there's only a handful of fan favorites left on the show, it's no surprise that they're going to try and go back to their roots. Plus, it's going to be the final chapter, so the best way to bring things to a close is definitely by making everything come full circle. This way, the characters and the fans will both have some sense of closure, and in a show that's this chaotic, it's definitely needed. Will isn't the only one who's going to be on this journey of figuring things out and getting everything sorted. One of the brothers mentioned Steve and Nancy too. There's a lot of unresolved stuff going on with them, and Jonathan too. We need to know which direction this love triangle is headed in. Every character has tried to fix things in their own way, but considering how messy this show is, one season is not enough to fix everything. There's so many unanswered questions that fans have, and we can only hope the Duffer Brothers can answer all these in Season 5. It would be so disappointing if the last season is left with loose ends. Next, Vecna's going to be making a comeback, and we all know that's not good. This season, the characters of the show were dealing with Vecna. Jamie Campbell Bower played this blood-hungry supernatural monster from the Upside Down extremely well. We all know the origins of Vecna. Like us all, he was a child too, known as Henry Creel. It's insane how this child used to torture his family. It's like he was destined to be a monster. In 1983, Vecna attempted to eradicate all of humanity, and we have to say, this whole scene was so carefully crafted by the Duffer Brothers, it felt very real. We were having nightmares for weeks. In Season 4, Vecna and the youngsters were in the middle of a very intense fight. The sentient creature was wounded very badly but didn't die. If you remember, Will got the usual warning tingle towards the end of the season, so we knew something big was coming. Let's look at the cryptic message by the actor who played Vecna, as well as a prediction about Season 5. Nobody's explicitly confirmed that Vecna is going to be a part of the next season, but Jamie dropped some hints in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. In true Jamie fashion, he was super cryptic and said he knows about Season 5. What does he know? How much does he know? Does this mean Vecna's coming back? Based on our predictions, Vecna's going to be coming back, and we'll see the final fight between 11 and the creature from the Upside Down. The fate of the world depends on this fight. We can't wait to see it happen. Let's hope 11 makes it out of the show alive. Millie Bobby Brown mentioned on a late-night show recently that she doesn't want her character to die. After all, there have been so many tragic deaths of some of the best characters on the show. Last season, Eddie's death hit fans the hardest. We're still recovering from it quite literally. He took on the mob of demo bats in the Battle of the Upside Down, and unfortunately, that was it for him. It's hard to forget Dustin holding Eddie in his arms as he dies. Is somebody cutting onions right now? Nope, those are just our tears. Every season of Stranger Things is an emotional roller coaster, but the last one hurt a bit more than usual. Finally, when is Season 5 expected to come out? Stranger Things has had a pretty great run so far, but it's not over yet. The 5th season is going to be the show's last season. Yes, we're crying. Everyone's extremely attached to the characters, and that only makes it harder to say goodbye to the show and its characters. It feels like we've grown up with them. Netflix confirmed in February of this year that Season 5 is in the making. It was hard for fans to stay calm then, and it's harder right now, especially after Season 4 is ended. The writers started writing in August, and apparently they're still going. They have a lot of things to sort out, and it's great they're starting early. The 5th season will come out at the end of 2023 or even the beginning of 2024. That's a long wait considering that Season 4 ended in July of 2022. It wasn't a huge shock to us fans that the show is ending after 5 seasons. A few years ago, the Duffer Brothers talked about how they wanted the show to last 4 or 5 seasons, and it did. It's insane to think about how far the show's come. That's not the only thing those brothers promised, though. They said they want to tell a lot more exciting stories in the world of Stranger Things, and they've been doing exactly that. The show is just so well written, with unexpected heroes and so many mysteries. It's one of the best shows of all time, and it will go down in history. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you know that waiting isn't something that's new. Before Season 4, fans had to wait about 2.5 years. That's a long time, but of course, there was a whole pandemic in between, so it makes a lot of sense. Even though they had to wait a super long time to get all the answers, fans are really excited for the next season. The Duffer Brothers and other actors have been dropping some subtle hints about what to expect, but the plot twists are insane and you never know what's going to happen. As the next season draws closer, the hype will just grow more and more and more, and we're going to get more clues about what to expect. We simply just can't wait. That's a wrap for this video. We hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.